Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. And in today's Cephalabon contributor video, we're going to be going over the newest release by the company Roja Parfums. This one is called Isola Blu. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this brand new fragrance. Also tell you about a special giveaway, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the brand new Isola Blu by Roja Parfums, a brand new release for 2023, I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. Now, of course, if you would like to participate in the giveaway, given the fact that this is a Cephalabon contributor video, all you have to do is shoot on over to cephalabon.com. It's going to be the first link down below in the description box. And then after you've read through the article and become a registered reader, just leave a comment on the article. That's it. That's really all you have to do. And you can take home a bottle of the brand new Isola Blu. Best of luck, everybody. Just make sure to check back on over to cephalabon.com on the date that's mentioned in the article so you know if you're one of the lucky winners. And of course, I will not be announcing the winner here on my channel. There have been a lot of scams going around as of late, people impersonating others, asking you to contact them on WhatsApp and giving out telephone numbers and asking you to contact them on Nicegram and Telegram and Instagram and whatever gram. It's totally a scam. It's not me. Please don't fall for it. All of the giveaways that I do and that Cephalabon does are 100% free. So here's a fragrance that is available at Twisted Lily. If you're interested in picking up this fragrance, you may do so at Twisted Lily. A lot of really high-end niche fragrances, a lot of highly reputable brands, and they have a wide selection of just amazing fragrances, and they carry some of my favorite brands ever. Here's a fragrance that was formerly known as Oligarch. And of course, this is the brand new Isola Blu, and the presentation looks really nice with these sort of aquamarine crystals at the top here, and obviously very luxurious presentation, which is typically the case with any Roja Parfums fragrance. So this fragrance has a lot of citrus in it. You have lime and lemon and bergamot. There are some floral ingredients. There's orange blossom, there's jasmine, some fruits like coconut and apple. There's also black currant, and then in the dried down you have grass. I'm personally picking up on vetiver, but then you also have birch, you have some other earthy ingredients, a little cedar wood, a little mate, a little amber and labdanum, and a whole lot of other goodness. So I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, you will get that bright, citrusy, zesty appeal that is to die for. I love the citrus that's in this fragrance. The lime, the bergamot, the lemon, everything just kind of coalesces to give you this very bright, refreshing bouquet of citrus in the opening. So lively and so perfect for the hotter weather. So if you're looking for like a spring and summer fragrance to really satisfy that itch, you're looking for something very bright and energetic and vivacious for the hotter weather, Isola Blu is 100% that type of a fragrance. Obviously, if you have experience with Oligarch, chances are you're going to love this fragrance, right? So it's a no-brainer. But of course, if you are a fan of some other bright citrusy offerings like Elysium, I would also recommend that you check this fragrance out because this one does have those bright, citrusy, ethereal tendencies. Now, this fragrance is long-lasting on skin, and that's because it has tons of base notes in it. And of course, there's the birch and there's the grass, which for me personally, I'm getting vetiver. You do get some smooth woods. There's a touch of pink pepper in there, but nothing smells overly spicy or peppery or anything like that. Although you do have a bit of that darker edge that I think is on account of the birch. But of course, I am getting some of those very lush ingredients in the heart. And of course, I'm talking about the orange blossom, the jasmine. I'm also talking about the coconut and the apple. This fragrance does not smell tropical to my nose, and I usually tend to make that association when regarding coconut being used in fragrances, even ylang ylang. I usually make that tropical association, and that's not something that can be said about this fragrance, at least not as far as my nose can subjectively perceive. I do find this fragrance, however, to be a bit on the fruity side. I think the apple that is in here is very nicely done, and of course, it's a perfect pairing to the citrus in the opening, specifically the lime, which is very zesty and tangy, and it gives off a really pleasant, very bright aroma in the opening. You know, I smell this fragrance and I do imagine being on vacation. I imagine maybe sailing on a yacht or being on a beach or just enjoying, you know, a nice restaurant by the seaside, and you're outdoors and the wind is blowing in your face and you're just enjoying the extravagance of the summer, and perhaps you're at a destination that you've never been to before. You're taking in all the scenery and the landscape, and this fragrance certainly does that, right? Off the coast of Italy somewhere, just relaxing, enjoying the tranquility and the serenity. And this is such a beautiful fragrance. I think this is a fragrance most certainly that's going to be spoken about in the same breath as Elysium. And of course, we all know Elysium is one of the most successful fragrances by Roja Parfums, and I love so many, from Scandal to Danger to Vetiver to so many others. And of course, I mentioned that I do get a bit of Vetiver from this fragrance too, but of course it's not as strong as Vetiver, either the Parfum Cologne or otherwise. This one is more about the other citrusy elements and the fruity elements, and even a touch of that warmth in the dry down on account of the amber and the labdanum and the various other resins. There's a touch of vanilla in there as well, some tea, but all in all, this is a bright, fruity, citrusy, fresh summer fragrance with what I perceive to be vetiver in the dry down, and I personally love it. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is a unique fragrance in the sense that, you know, from Roja Parfums, the quality that is in here, it will allow this fragrance to stand out among the other releases in the line. Can't quite compare it to anything else, even when considering vetiver, of course. Some comparisons have been made between Terre d'Hermès and Oligarch, and in a moment's notice, you do kind of get a similarity in there, but once you do a juxtaposition and a side-by-side, you'll see that the quality of the raw materials is much, much different, especially in the dry down. This fragrance, Oligarch and Isola Blu, tend to go in a much different direction, and I would highly encourage that you try it on your own skin and actually put it to the test yourself, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. In terms of the longevity, I was surprised that I got 9 to 10 hours from this one, especially because it is so citrusy in the opening. But it is strongly concentrated, tons of base notes in here. Even as it's sitting on this test strip right here, I can smell it wafting off of it very generously, so you will get noticed when you wear this one. Projection was amazing for the first hour and a half of application. It radiated well beyond an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 6 or 7, skin scent right around hour 9. In terms of the versatility, I do think this one is perfectly unisex as far as I'm concerned. I can see some people arguing that this one probably leans a bit masculine. So I would say about 70% masculine, 30% feminine. Although I think citrus, generally speaking, is quite gender neutral, as is amber. And of course, jasmine and orange blossom have often been used on the feminine side of things. But in any case, try it for yourself and come to your own determination with this one. Great for the hotter weather, great for formal and casual scenarios for as long as you can afford it. I know Roja Parfums fragrances tend to be a bit on the pricey side of things, but I think it is an investment because the quality is there and they do last a very long time. And I think this one will appeal to anybody of any age. And of course, as far as the presentation is concerned, on the bottle, it's a little less angular. So it does have these ridges here on the sides. I love the light blue crystal. The name just transports you to like an exotic destination. And I just really enjoy the presentation for Roja Parfums fragrances. I've mentioned it on my channel so many times before. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you're a fan of bright, citrusy, vetiver, clean, hot weather geared fragrances, Isola Blu by Roja Parfums is a no-brainer. Definitely check it out. And of course, Twisted Lily carries this fragrance and other fragrances that you may wish to get from the brand. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you took something of value from today's episode. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up, and participate in the giveaway by shooting on over to seflaban.com. First link down below. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.